Hello and welcome to another guide on how to deal with mutators in StarCraft 2 co-op. Today we'll be talking about the economic mutators in this game. There are 6 of them, and I'll be going over each of them in detail. The first one is slim pickings. You want to patrol workers in safe areas to get vision. The purpose of the patrolling workers is not to collect the resources, it's just to get vision so that you can collect resources in those areas using 1 to 2 hotkeyed workers. I made a guide on this before, you can check it out. You can use a ground-based army to incidentally pick up resources. You can consider getting 14 workers in the main to get optimal saturation. If your commander needs a lot of gas, you should mine from your natural, get all the gas that you can, and you should spread buildings and overlords to see more of the map so you can see more resources to pick up. For lucky envelopes, it's pretty much the same thing as slim pickings. For microtransactions, you want to try to spend all your money even if you have to queue 5 units in a barracks at a time before you move your army. Spend as much money as you can before you move your army because you're going to lose a lot every time you move. If your unit has an auto attack like Diamondbacks or Wrathwalkers, you can have all of them just follow 1, hotkey that 1, and then move that 1 unit so that you save a lot of money. For mineral shields, you want to put 2 static defense structures behind the mineral lines of each base and hotkey them. Just shift-click the mineral shields when they appear. For Stukov, if you patrol a Diamondback with the slime upgrade around the minerals, you will destroy them automatically. For Zagara, you can have 2 to 3 bow launchers shoot 2 to 3 mineral nodes at a time, and you don't have to worry about the mineral shields anymore. For Han and Horner, since they don't have any static defense structures, you can box a Hellion using supply depots and other buildings so that they can stay in place and act as a static defense structure. You can also use strike fighters later on to break mineral shields, but you really shouldn't. For Karax, you can use cannons, but you can also use orbital strikes to break the mineral shields even faster. Missile Command is kind of like an economic mutator because you have to spend a lot of money defending against it. Terran commanders should patrol SCVs to repair damaged structures. You should leave spaces between buildings so that your SCVs can move around. If you clump them up too closely, it will be hard to repair them. There's less surface area for the SCVs to repair. For Protoss commanders, you want to make sure your buildings are powered by more than 1 pylon so that even if one goes down, you can still continue building units or getting upgrades. For Zerg commanders, you want to spread creep with queens so that you can uproot spore crawlers that are being targeted by nukes. If you're on creep, you will be able to outrun the nuke or at least run to a place that's away from your other buildings so that it explodes and hits nothing else. To deal with nukes, Raynor spreads bunkers around his base. It's hard to say exactly how many you need because it depends on how much area you need to cover, but I'll say you need around like 8 to 10. And you should have 2 Marines inside. You can also use BCs to Yamato the nuke. If you see one, you can teleport and then just Yamato it. Kerrigan spreads Omega Worms, and then when you see a nuke on the map, Kerrigan herself enters an Omega Worm, comes out where the nuke is, and kills it. Alternatively, if you don't want to pay that much attention to the nukes, you can just P1 mass Hydras, and they will shoot down the PDDs and the nuke because of the crack creep. For Artanis, there are many ways to deal with nukes. They're all bad. So you have Archons, Mass Phoenixes, you can use Orbital Strike, you can use the High Templar Psystorm, or Disintegrates if your Tempests are out on the field and you see a nuke pass by. None of these are really good methods though. Swan, you can just mass missile turrets. You can also Herc Teleport and use the drill on it to kill missiles before they even get close. For Zagara, you need like 4 to 5 bow launchers in each base, and you can use Scourge. Neither of these are good though. For Vorazun, you should patrol 8 to 12 Corsairs per base, and they will take out pretty much whatever. And they will also get their shields replenished pretty quickly if they get hit by the splitter missiles. Karax can use orbital strikes to hit the nukes, or just put a lot of monoliths with energizers so they shoot faster. Abathur can deep tunnel a Brutalist to the nuke, and then kill the nuke with the attacks plus the symbiotes. You can hotkey Brutalists similar to what you would do against Void Rifts. For Alarak, you have a mothership. You can also patrol destroyers, similar to how Vorazun patrols Corsairs. I suggest that you put Havocs around the base so that your destroyers have more range and they can shoot the missiles sooner. Nova can use Seeker missiles to kill a nuke instantly. Nova can also snipe nukes, and another way is just using Marines and Ghosts patrolling around. Stukov, for non-P3, you should use bunkers. if you're using P3, you should put a barracks at each base and make some marines when a nuke comes, because your units may be going in a different direction from where the nukes are coming from. You can also use 3 Liberator hit squads at each base and just fly and right-click the nukes as they get close. For Phoenix, you use Dragoon suits. You want to switch out of the suit as soon as you're done dealing with the nuke so that it can recharge energy. You can also have 4 to 5 carriers at each base. For Protoss commanders, you actually want to clump your buildings a little more so that your patrolling air fleet doesn't have to cover so much area. For Dahaka, you have Creeper hosts. They will automatically shoot down the nukes. You can also use the Greater Primal Worm's Q ability. So you can just summon one and then Q on the nuke and it'll go away. For Hanehorner, you hotkey about 12 Reapers at each base and you just fly and target them. You need to put them on separate hotkeys, not just F2 and control click all of them at this so that they all fly at the same time. For Tychus, you should spread auto turrets. You probably need like 10 of them in a line, like 2x5. You can also use Nux, Vega, and Sam Sirius to shoot down nukes if they're nearby. Zeratul spreads monoliths and shield guards everywhere. Stetman uses his Egorb, his Corruptor's ability, or the Carrier Battlelord's Yamato. And Manx can spread bunkers everywhere, similar to what Raynor does. For Trick or Treat, you don't really need to spend money buying candy. The units that spawn from the civilians will be dangerous around the 8 to 10 minute mark. After 10 minutes, all the units that spawn are actually weak units. So you can just put a bunch of static defense there and just stop buying candy later on. For Abathur, if you have 2 full biomass swarm hosts, you can just burrow them nearby and they'll kill all the trickles from the candy bowl after 10 minutes and you get free biomass for whatever units come out. For Dahaka, you can do something similar. You just make 3 to 4 primal hosts and a primal worm farm wherever you're building them, and then you get free essence. The units that spawn from Trick or Treat are based on this chart, and it's the same as the transmutation mutator. So you can look here. And that's it for this lesson. Hopefully you learned something interesting. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And now that you've learned about this, why don't you check out this video where you can learn more about other mutators in this game. See you next time.